Hey guys. Welcome back, you beautiful masochists, to another episode of How Dumb Can Reality Get Before We All Snap? Let's start with America's favorite bipartisan pastime, gerrymandering, or as I like to call it, democracy, but make it Hunger Games. Republicans carve up maps like a drunk butcher on meth, and Democrats scream about fairness until it's their turn to grab the scalpel and start slicing districts like a goddamn cake at a mafia wedding. And Texas is pulling Olympic-level stunts trying to block redistricting like the state's going to fall into the Gulf of Gulf of America, if they don't keep power. It's not democracy, it's Game of Thrones with fewer dragons and more lawsuits. Meanwhile, in the asylum wing, known as the woke left, we've got activists arguing that swapping one demographic group for another in criminal stats somehow erases crime itself. Math, who needs it when you've got victimhood points? You're not anti-woman if you just redefine woman hard enough, right? Jesus, tap dancing Christ, Orwell's ghost is rolling in a grave wearing a pink pussy hat. But don't worry, if that didn't boil your brain, try this on for size. We've got rapists being recast as troubled family men with cultural baggage, like assault is just a quaint little oopsie tied to regional cuisine. And if you dare show a video of one of these attacks, well, you're the problem, apparently. Not the violent piece of shit in the footage, but the one holding the camera. Stunning, brave bullshit. Oh, and free speech? Ha! More like free speech, terms and conditions apply. MAGA hat? Banned. Communist flag? Trendy. We're banning symbols with the enthusiasm of a medieval church council, except now it's done by HR departments and Twitter mobs. And the media, too busy virtue signaling to notice the goddamn house is on fire. So while religious leaders are out here diddling altar boys or selling snake oil for salvation, and politicians hurl insults like they're on an 8th grade debate team with syphilis, we're expected to believe that civilization isn't crumbling. But I've seen more integrity at a Vegas blackjack table. Now, because apparently we're doing a reboot of the Dark Ages, violent ideologues are being treated like misunderstood poets, while cancel culture turns every celebrity into a walking PR liability for daring to speak without a teleprompter shoved up their ass. Meanwhile, law enforcement finally grew a pair, 5 years too late, and started busting the kinds of people who think enslaving women is a quirky lifestyle choice. Bold move, guys. Maybe next time don't wait until it's a trending hashtag. Anyway, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the steaming pile of hypocrisy, cowardice, and cultural collapse. And I promise you, by the end, you'll either be laughing your ass off or questioning your life choices, or both. Let's go. First up, let's dive into the Texas redistricting mess. Here's one of the congressmen talking about why he had to flee.
This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab. This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab. This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video.
Oh gosh, here we go. Problems already. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got to play that over.
This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab.
Power grab. Yeah, well, of course it's a power grab. That's the same reason the Democrats do it. I mean, it's the outrage over this. So if for those of you who don't know, the Democrats and the Republican, or the Texas state, they left and fled and went to Illinois. And the reason they did this is because if they're not there, present, they can't hold the vote on the redistricting because it breaks the quorum. They have to have a quorum. So if they all leave and go somewhere else, then the Republicans are screwed because they can't do anything about it. Now, not that the Republicans are just going to roll over and die, but this is their fighting for freedom, fighting for their constituents. So here, let's watch this one. It goes into a little more detail.
In protest of Republican efforts. More than 50 members of the Texas House of Representatives fleeing to Chicago in protest of Republican efforts to redistrict the Lone Star State ahead of the midterm elections. And Democrats are having a field day with the proposed changes.
We've got to do things that perhaps in the past I would not have supported. This is an authoritarian move by the White House to try to make sure that they can rig the election.
If Republicans were confident on their policy agenda, they'd be eager to defend it with the people and to defend it at the ballot box next November, but they know they're in trouble. And so they're trying to rig the system to hold on to power next November.
Democracy itself, freedom itself are at stake here, and we cannot allow for an Orban-style one-party system takeover of our entire government.
Yeah, because that's, it's not like they do this in California or Maryland or New York when they have the majority. They don't just gerrymander the district so that it's in their best interest. No, they wouldn't do something like that. They're the good ones. They're kind. This is what people hate about politics and politicians right here. When it's the other side doing it, it's wrong. When their side's doing it, it's great. And they both complain about the other side doing it. If politicians didn't have double standards, they wouldn't have any standards at all. It's crazy. So these guys are all up in arms because the Republicans are doing the same thing that they would do if they had the majority.
And so we've got to do whatever we can to fight back.
All right, let's bring in Fox News contributor Mary Catherine Ham. Mary Catherine, great to see you. Democrats appear to be very bothered by this. What say you?
This is so embarrassing. Just go and do your jobs in the House that you were elected to. Look, this happens every now and then where Republicans basically do the playbook that Democrats have been running for a while. And then Democrats go, wait, you're not supposed to do that. Only we're supposed to do that. Now we're going to leave our elected state and evade the democratic process in order to thwart you using these tools that are at your disposal. Even the New York Times reported or admitted that Democrats have little to fight back with on the gerrymandering front because they have gerrymandered their states so extensively, Chicago being a great example, Illinois being a great example, which is where they fled, that they can't actually do anything to compete against this. So I would just say that this is once again a bit of a tantrum, and the people who they represent should require them to be in their state to do their jobs.
Yeah. Speaking of Illinois, the governor, J.B. Pritzker, never seizing an opportunity or not seizing an opportunity to grab the spotlight. He took to the microphone and said Republicans are cheating.
They are attempting to cheat. And, I think we all know.
Who would know better about cheating than a Democratic governor from Illinois? I mean, she's... Could you get a worse spokesperson for what it's like to cheat in politics? Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Donald Trump is a cheater. When the cult leader and would-be dictator of the United States tells Texas to midstream change the game, when they know that they're going to lose in 2026, all bets are off. Everything's got to be on the table.
There it is again. We've got to fight back, Governor Pritzker says.
I love how they present this as fighting back. Like the most pathetic, weak, beta, sad thing they do is they run away from the job that they have to do because they know they're going to lose. And they know it's going to happen. This is probably going to happen anyway, but this is all just a stunt for show, to show their constituents how serious they're taking this fascist regime, Trump, that's taken over the country. And it's all just for show, and it's ridiculous, and it's not going to matter. And what are they going to, so it's more of this nonsense. It's like, instead of actually doing something that's good for the country, these idiots fight like they're preschoolers.
Yeah, this is how they justify everything. And I actually think it does get undemocratic when you decide that you can justify anything you do because your opposition has been a special kind of dangerous. And this is what they've done with the Trump era from day one, right? This is what got you Russiagate, is that all of these intelligence officials and official officials and democratically elected officials were like, this guy is a special danger. And because he's a special danger, we can do special FISA warrants that violate a bunch of Americans' rights. That was a bad thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do. They lead themselves down these paths. And by the way, those paths aren't always great for American voters who decide, we don't like that you're violating all the norms that you allegedly value to do this.
Mary Catherine Ham, I want to ask you about a Wall Street Journal headline, the conservative women who are having it all. Grabbed my attention. I'm sure it grabbed yours as well. Here's a quote from the Wall Street Journal piece on that. There's Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, former South Carolina governor and ambassador to the...
So the real reason why these Democrats don't want this redistricting, they probably would have wanted it a couple years ago, but the real reason is because there will be five new congressional districts, 4 of which will be majority Hispanic. Okay. Now, if the conspiracy theory or whatever you want to call it is true, that the reason that the Democrats were letting all the illegals into the country was because they were trying to boost numbers in their own party, that backfired big time. Because the reason they're upset that these Hispanic districts are going to be redistricted is because Trump's Hispanic vote was through the roof, and these are Hispanic communities are going to vote for Republicans. So that how wild is that? All right, so. So they're just throwing a little tantrum, you know, no big deal. Let's take a look at what this soldier has to say.
Punished. I am very
upset about this.
I have a message for the American people. Last December, I encouraged you to give this new administration a chance. Time is up. Our government is compromised. Tyrants get promoted and patriots get punished. I am very concerned that we are on the brink of losing our constitutional republic to tyranny. We came extremely close during COVID, and it seems to me like everyone has already forgotten that it even happened. There has been no rectification and absolutely no accountability. The only way that I see we the people taking back our country is a ground-up revolution. We must abandon the America First movement as well as both political parties. I am calling for the...
Sounds like a great plan, right? Yeah, that definitely nothing bad could happen there. And can you imagine the audacity of sitting in a U.S. Army uniform calling for the overthrow of the country you're supposed to serve and protect? Now, I know a lot of times the military are the ones who are involved in these coups, but that just seems crazy. I don't know if there's been any consequences to this. I don't know if there should be, but it's a pretty wild thing to say.
God first, liberty second movement to be born in the United States of America. This will take at least 8 to 12 years to accomplish. We must first take municipal seats, then county seats, then state seats, and then we will take back our federal government. If the spirit of patriotism burns within you, you are called to the work. For many are called, but few are chosen. We need those who otherwise never would have gotten involved in politics to step up and serve. What would your qualifications be? I can't say, but I can share what the Lord personally impressed upon me to qualify for me to participate in his work, and maybe it will guide you in seeking your calling. Number 1, you must keep yourself above reproach. If you have any vices, you must abandon them. Pornography, any sexual sin, any addiction, unrighteous anger, and pride were a few that were impressed upon me. The enemy of all freedom will use anything you do against you, so only do good. 2, you must prioritize your health and fitness. If you do not have a strong tabernacle to house your spirit, your emotions, and your mental health, you will struggle to overcome the attacks that surely will come. Number 3, you must trust in God with all your heart. There will be hard times ahead in this movement. If you do not have faith, you will not endure. Number 4, you must be willing to sacrifice everything. Your life may even be taken. Personally, I'm all in. I am currently running for mayor in the city of Eagle Mountain, Utah, where I reside. My primary election is taking place soon. If I fail to prevail, in 2 years I will run for city council, and then in 4 more years, I will run for mayor again. I am calling on patriots and freedom fighters everywhere to join this movement. You are called. It's up to you what you do to be chosen. I intend to preserve for my children what my parents' generation has failed to preserve for me. In the future for which I am fighting, my children will be able to afford a home. My children will be permitted to raise their children without the fear of the government indoctrinating them. I have a...
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot to disagree with there, I don't think. I mean, that's not what I was expecting to be the end result of that. So this appears to be, a conservative who's wanting these things. Lots of talk about God and things like that. Now, the 4 things that he mentioned, it's hard for me to tell with this, is very similar to what like the manosphere or whatever guys talk about. Get in shape, give up porn, get your life together, getting good, and the boomers have sold out the country. Essentially, they've taken and gotten the good life, and there's a huge problem with the 25 and under crowd. These people are in a bad state. They aren't going to be able to buy houses. Their earnings are low. College seems too expensive. Craziness for them, and they're not happy about it. So they could be talked into something like this because they don't have anything to lose. When you don't have anything to lose, then you're going to, revolution or crime or whatever isn't that big of a deal. That's why we need everybody to be part of our system, part of the community, have a stake in it, so that they feel responsible and they're not just left out in the cold to wither and nobody pays attention to them. I don't think she should be discharged. He should be discharged. That's no. As you see this, great genes and horses, the Border Patrol doing more of their patrolling. It's pretty funny.
Our horse patrol unit has great genes. Genes that can stand up to the most rugged of rides. It's not just what we wear every day, it's in our DNA.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the
U.S. Border Patrol has great genes. Oh gosh, I don't know who's in charge of the marketing for the Border Patrol. They are crazy. I cannot believe the kind of leash that these guys have been given to make these videos. It's just, it's entertaining. So here's a Sydney Sweeney ad. She's apparently fixing up old cars too.
Welcome back to Sid's Garage. I'm going to be doing some maintenance on my vintage Mustang.
She comes from a family of mechanics. I don't know if she fixed up this car, but probably just for show. Does it get any more apple pie American than this? Yeah, those are nice jeans.
Welcome back to Sid's Garage. I'm going to be...
Let's see, what else do I want to go over here? There's some Violence in Paris. No, this is this is in France. Yes, no, I gotta check. Oh, Paris. These are Hamas supporters. Wow. Okay. The San Diego pastor got busted for allegedly trying to pick up 14 and 15-year-old boys.
How's it going, Roger? You want to talk to me privately, or do you want your boyfriend to find out, or your husband?
I think it's pretty interesting when these people go and act like they're kids on, and then go to these pedophiles' places of work or house or whatever. Like, I don't. That takes some real guts to go do that.
Talk to me? I mean, like I said, I don't want him to hear. Otherwise,
I don't know if these people get arrested because of these videos.
Picture of you.
There's a guy locally who does this, and I follow his Facebook page. And I don't know if any of the people have been arrested. There's probably some kind of inadmissible evidence or something. But I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
It's okay.
Yes.
Do you want me to tell him, or you want me to call the cops? What would your church think? Do you want to just have a conversation, man? I just want to get your side of the story.
Sure. Let's have a conversation.
You want to go walk?
We can just do it right here.
So I'm filming, obviously, because I don't know you, and I just want you to keep your hands to yourself, because obviously, I don't know you, but I have a lot of information, Roger. I know everything about you. Okay. What's going on at church? Why are you out for a couple weeks?
I'm having surgery.
Having surgery. Okay. Well, I mean, he's right there, so you mean we can either like have this with him or by yourself, or
we can just do it right here.
Okay.
Let's just talk.
So, are you familiar with like what I'm referencing?
Never. Well, I know Grindr.
Okay. Like how many underage boys are you talking to on Grindr?
I don't know.
Or how many have reached out to you? How many have talked to you, or what?
I assume they're all of age.
I have evidence otherwise, Roger. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Okay. I don't know their ages.
Okay.
When I talk to someone on Grindr, I assume.
You assume until someone tells you otherwise, or what if someone tells?
I don't think that soldier wants this guy in his group. You know, you gotta live that clean life. You know, you might have the religious part of it down, but nope. Probably watches porn too. Probably. All right, this one I wanted to get to. Let's take a look at this. This is a Christian preacher. I guess this guy goes around and kind of I think tries to incite people. Sits at a table with sort of those outrageous signs and stuff. So, but I don't know. So I'm not sure exactly what he was saying about Islam, but I'm sure it was all nice things for sure. Brian, I guess I can put these up. Brian, you're a former service member. That guy will likely face court-martial for the suggestions of violent overthrow of command structure. Yeah, well, I don't think anyone would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's kind of a stupid thing to think. I guess, though, he feels really compelled to do this and feels like it's his moral duty to do. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I should look more into that, because why? If he's a conservative, then he's Trump's, and he's a Trump supporter or something. He thinks Trump's not being extreme enough. Maybe he believes in, maybe he believes in theocracy. I don't know.
Don't do that. Listen, don't do that.
Probably not going to see this on MSNBC. Anybody even watches it anymore.
I will buy you. I will get it. I will get it.
Now, to be fair, they're not beating the shit out of him, I guess. So that's good. But you can bet with if there weren't cameras on, then it probably would be a different story. But you know, it's why do you think you can manhandle somebody just for their beliefs? This is wild. I'm going to ask Grok here what. Oops, what happened? Did I do that? Come on. Okay, well, I don't. Okay, here we go. Allegedly attacked by Muslims in London. Doesn't really give me much. It's kind of boring. I thought there was. Okay, part of a broader context of rising anti-Muslim hate. So he's out there talking anti-Muslim rhetoric, I'm sure. I think he's with Turning Point UK, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, they go to these college campuses and put up their signs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that has something to do with that. They put up a Sydney Sweeney ad in the middle of Times Square to troll all the libs there. I mean, who's in charge of the marketing for American Eagle? These people got some serious, you know, American Eagle just does not care. They are all in on this whole idea. And so I don't know. I've heard that they sold out of their jeans like the first day after the ad or something like that. So, and from that perspective, and the stock went up 15%. So, as far as that goes, it's been successful. We'll see what the long-term implications are for it. But I didn't know American Eagle was really even a brand anymore. They were a long, 25 years ago, but I didn't really know what happened to them, where they went. So England's having a real problem, with Islam. That's where that preacher kid was at. And so I want to show you this. This is from one of the mosques there in Manchester. This is what
legislations. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in this surah, or in this particular ayah, also prohibited for marriage are women already married. That means that is those who have husbands. It is prohibited to marry them so long as they are still married, unless they are divorced and have completed the iddah, the waiting period, except any slave girls you may own. That is those who have been captured in war. If a disbelieving woman who's married is captured in war, she becomes permissible for the Muslims after one menstrual cycle has passed.
This guy is claiming that enslaving women is okay. This is some year 600 shit that's still going on. This is wild. How is that compatible with the modern society? That if you can take this woman And as long as you wait till after her first menstruation so that you know that she's not pregnant with somebody else's kid, you can take her as your slave. In 2025, people are still saying this shit. I mean, seriously. This guy's a leader of his community. He's saying that you can enslave women. He's in England. He's not in the bushes somewhere and, you know, some hellhole place. He's in a modern context, in a modern society, teaching people to have that much disrespect for women. I mean, how are the liberals okay with this? Why have they become the defenders of Islam? And if they'll defend this guy, they're not going to kick him out of the country for these kinds of things. They're not going to investigate his views or the things he's involved with, what kind of groups he's connected to. He's going to be just fine. They can go around saying this kind of crap all day long. And if somebody posts something nasty about it on their Facebook feed, then the police are going to come knocking on their door. It makes no sense. Why are you not protecting the women in your society that are so valuable to the success of your society? And that's a liberal value. And yet they're letting these Neanderthals who can barely tie their shoes, who probably have an IQ of 65, who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, they're letting them just go like it's no big deal. That is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. It's going to be a terrible thing. You know, this is something that I think is interesting. Is there going to be a cultural clash that's really extreme between the West and Islam? And if there is, I don't think that secular people are going to be able to withstand it. I think it's going to take religious people, because it's almost like crazy has to fight crazy. You know, so there has been an uptick in religiosity, Christianity in England and in the United States, especially with young men. And I think it's for this reason. I think that it's because they're sensing that there's some kind of cultural clash coming with Islam. They're looking for something that can provide them with power, with sort of a rubric for defending their culture and things like that. Now, hey, I know I diss on Christianity a lot, and a lot of religions, but mostly Christianity. But a lot of that is because I think that Christianity needs to get their shit together, because this cultural clash is going to happen. And if they're still running around saying stupid Ken Ham bullshit, then they're not going to have the kind of strength and power to withstand it as they can. And we want people to have strong, cogent arguments, thoughts, think about things on a deeper level, so that we can stand up to others who want to take away our way of life, who want to take away our liberal values, right? We need to, in a lot of ways, the secularists need to join with the Christians in preserving our culture, because we all believe none of us believe in this kind of crap. None of us. It doesn't matter how conservative Christian you are. This is not something that you're saying. I give Christianity credit for being a huge part of the Western civilization. They played a huge role in it. Now I think it goes back to the Greeks. And I think the Greeks were the ones who were the main source of Western civilization, their philosophy, all the things that they've done. Christianity is Platonism for the masses. Christianity adopted the Greek worldview, turned it into a religion, absorbed all that thought into their religion, and then they passed it on, and they built is a European religion, and all the values come from Greeks through Christianity into our current Western world, and so Christianity has a stake in this, and I don't think they should be excluded from protecting our culture.
Which serves to establish that she is not pregnant. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continued, and Allah said, this is Allah's ordinance, or an ordinance binding upon you. That is, you must adhere to following its guidance, because in it is healing and light, and the explanation of what is permitted and what is prohibited. All women other than these are lawful for you. So the companions are being educated about these rulings.
Disgusting. This guy sounds about right. This guy gets kicked out of a...
So I'm Michael Whitel. I'm being asked to leave by the police because of Donald Trump. Hey, I'm a Donald Trump dude. Yeah, I'm a man. Yes, I am. So I just want all these coppers, you got to deal with them, MAGA. But they do not political here. They don't want any kind of political. So those flags over there, those are pre-approved. Those flags over there, those aren't crazy. So my question to you guys is: are these rules equally enforced on everybody? And here's my question to you. And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you. Go out and handcuff. So I'm being threatened with arrest. What law am I breaking? What am I? Well, we ask you to leave. You're asking me to leave. Am I being evicted from the premises? You're being evicted from the premises. Okay. We're gonna walk up. I'm being evicted from the premises because of Donald Trump. Because we can't wear Donald Trump hats in public, and so now I'm being evicted from the premises. We need a big procession to get me out of here. Trump is not welcome in St. Louis City SC Club. Trump is not welcome here. I'm giving Mac, you guys. We're the ones. I'm trying. I know we're the ones who don't complain about everything you talk about. I know, but if we're gonna do this, we don't want. Oh, you can take the hat off and go back in. If I take the hat off, I can go back in. Yeah. Okay.
It has to do with something with the policy that they don't want political displays or something. And so I don't know if you saw that earlier in the clip, though. He was pointing at I think they had maybe Palestinian flags or pride flags or something, and they were not kicking those people out. Yeah, I mean, I think if they want to kick him out, they can kick him out. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. That's not some insight there, Brian. Okay, here we go.
All of Minnesota. Now, I'm standing here because this mosque has made national headlines after they penned a letter of community support for a Somali immigrant who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old. Now, back in 2024, this perpetrator was charged after abducting a 12-year-old from her backyard, forcing her into his vehicle, and then sexually assaulting her. He has since been convicted of first-degree criminal sexual assault. Now, after being convicted, his family members were sending letters to the judge to ask the judge to consider his character when making that sentencing. And one of those letters came from the Al-Hassam.
Consider his character. Okay.
Islamic Center. It was actually signed by their executive director, stating that he had to face cultural differences and the challenges of taking on a new culture. They also framed him as a family-oriented man who sends his money oftentimes back to his family members in Somalia. The judge actually gave him the lightest sentencing possible. He is only going to be serving 8 years in jail for this crime. He was sentenced to 12 years, but those last 4 years are going to be spent out of jail and on probation. By the way, going back to that point about the challenges of a different culture, this perpetrator has been in the United States of America since 2006. So he's been in the United States for 19 years. He was born in Somalia, but he has been here for almost 2 decades at this point. However, the culture coming into play when it comes to, as the Islamic Center put it, this situation, the situation, of course, being him sexually.
Okay, devoted family man, rapes a 12-year-old, has great character. So You think this is related at all to what that guy was saying earlier about disrespect and disregard for females? I mean, how could you say that kind of stuff? I mean, could you imagine if a church said this about, you know, one of their members? I mean, I can't imagine that happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's been said, but usually people are just shocked, like, and they'll say things like, "Oh gosh, he was always such a nice guy. I wouldn't have guessed that." But yeah, this was in Minnesota. Okay, this guy's talking about those people who were beat up in the street. And he thinks that there was too many, people keep showing the video and talking about it too much. That's what he thinks the problem is here with this.
So when you continuously run a loop where you have national leaders that are speaking irresponsible, showing black and white people trying to knock each other's heads off, what role do you play, media, in continually showing?
It was like, what, 30-2?
Showing that level of violence. What role do you play in quoting misdirected national leaders talking about a city that is on the right track, but they're doing everything they can to try to take us off the track? What role do you play, media, in that? And what you'll say, and let me finish, what you'll say is you're just reporting the news. But I'll say to you, when you continuously show a loop and you continuously report misguided, misdirected national leaders trying to slam our city, you have to ask your question. You got to ask yourself, what role are you playing?
They're trying to call attention to the lack of policing, that there hadn't been, there have now, but there hadn't been people arrested, and that just, it was such a horrible attack that was unnecessary, that kept going on and on and on. And I think that he doesn't like it because it makes his city look bad. Of course it makes your city look bad. Are you crazy? Yeah, it makes your city look bad. Just like if it happened in any other city, it'd make them look bad too. And people would talk about it and they'd be up in arms about it because it's a horrible thing that happened. And nobody, and the leadership, the police chief comes out and blames everybody except the perpetrators. And people are just supposed to forget about that. What kind of world does this guy live in? He apparently doesn't even know that social media exists and that people are going to be talking about this over and over and over again. How was there should have been a lot more police there. Okay, here we go. This looks
18 to 50. And a popular opinion, but if we took all MAGA men from ages 18 to 50 and replaced them with immigrants, violence against women and children would decrease to almost 0%.
Yeah, did you see those other videos about the immigrants and the violence against women? No, just living in an echo chamber, only seeing what your lib friends put on there. Not what's actually going on in the world. Yeah, violence against women would decrease because the MAGA men who are out here doing terrible things to women. That's the most ridiculous thing. Heck, if I'm being honest, a lot of these younger guys, they They can't even go up and talk to a woman. I mean, that's crazy. But there's a lot going on, and I don't know what's her basis for saying this. What does she have any stats? I mean, it's pretty much people who are crazy in the head who are committing these crimes, and that those people are on both sides, and they're immigrants and they're citizens. So it's not like there's some single group, unless her idea of what violence against women probably is that they have a different opinion than me, therefore they're having violence against me as a woman, and bullshit like that. All right.
Nobody is fucking hiring. Like, y'all don't understand. How the fuck is everybody hiring, but nobody is fucking hiring? Like, y'all don't understand how many damn job interviews I went to, how many like, y'all just don't understand how many applications I didn't put in. And mind y'all, I'm calling these places because, you know, back in the day, you used to quit a job, get a new job the very next day.
It looks like she has a job. Isn't she wearing nursing scrubs?
Yeah, whatever. So I'm calling around to these jobs or whatever the case may be, whatever, all the applications I had to put in for, you know, all the job applications I put in, I'm calling the companies. They're like, oh yeah, like one place like, oh yeah, we're not pulling the applications yet. They haven't given us a green light to pull the applications. Then it's like I'm having interviews. They're like, oh yeah, you got the job. Okay, so when I'm gonna start? Like, you are giving me the job, you're not giving me no start date, no nothing. Then it's like getting annoying. Then it's like one job. I went in, I had an interview. Mind you, they asked me like 50 fucking million questions and I did a good job. And you're telling me I have to now come back for a second interview. So it's just getting to the point where it's just getting annoying because I'm really trying. And then it's like, y'all, my motor went out on my car. So I'm essentially having to pay somebody to take me back and forth. Mind y'all, paying for somebody to take you back and forth places $20-$25 or more. Like, it's like, and it's getting frustrating because it's not like I'm trying. Then it's like, don't get me wrong, I do have a job. Like, I have a part-time job, but I'm trying to get another full-time job or whatever the case may be. And it's just getting annoying. Okay, I've had it because it's like, how is y'all hiring but ain't nobody hiring? Then it's like, I put in an application, I'm calling you, I'm ready to start working. Like, I could start working today, no shade. And nobody is saying nothing. They all, oh, we're gonna give you a call back. Yeah, we're gonna give you a call back and all of this and all of that. Then it's like, one job, the site isn't even open. So it's like, so why did y'all have applications? Like, I'm just getting so annoyed, and it's like, it's so annoying, it's so discouraging. And then it's like, now that I don't got a car, it's really more difficult because I'm having to spend all this damn money to get around. And it's like, I'm spending all this money to get on interviews. That's not something that's basically guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm wasting money, I'm wasting time, I'm wasting resources. Then it's like, they said they had a hiring event today, right? So I go to the fucking hiring event. It's not even a damn hiring event. Y'all want somebody to come all the way up here to get a fucking application, bitch. And then it's crazy because the applications is sending us to apply online. So it's like, y'all wasting people fucking time. Like, y'all are wasting people time. And it's getting fucking annoying. And it's like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's really a recession when it comes to job, because it's like, how is everybody saying we're hiring, apply now, apply today, and nobody is hiring, bitch? I even went into a store to apply.
Well, she sounds pleasant. I mean, she looks very professional. I mean, I've seen endless videos of liberals with all these piercings and all that stuff, complaining about people not hiring them. Like, it's some mystery. I know you want to look and dress and act and all that the way that you want to, but the people who are hiring you don't care. They want you to look presentable. This isn't that complicated. Everybody knew this until like 5 years ago.
News. I agree. I think we need to start bullying people that watch Fox News. I agree. I think
Shame them.
They need to be bullied for their abject intellectual laziness and the fact that they sit there and serve up this cruelty, and that these Fox viewers sit there and digest it with glee.
Like it.
It is the dumbest thing you can do. Watch Fox News.
I'm all in.
Hey, don't disagree. People who sit there and watch Fox News all day, MSNBC, CNN, same. These. I mean, who does this though? I mean, these are like 70-year-old people, so it's not like, you know, it's that big of a deal. But I would say when you see the AARP crowd out protesting, you know, the white old ladies protesting for Palestine or equal whatever they're doing. It's because they watch too much MSNBC. And they think those people are telling them the truth. They don't go on, they don't have social media. They don't follow any of that kind of stuff. They don't look into other sides. They just say, well, you know, that's what Rachel Maddow said, so it must be true. So I mean, Trump's destroying, he's a Hitler who's destroying the country. All right, guys, that was the last video I had for you. I've got to get going. So thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. You guys, until next time, have a good day.